my, oh my, oh my. Oh, Mama Pat, you just literally take my breath away every single time I use her metallics. Literally take my breath away.
You're still my favorite queen of the night. A friend, let's drive off again. Let's drive off again.
All right, my beautiful glam sisters, let's get started. We're doing a full face of Pat McGrath today. So I don't have like mascara and stuff like that because I don't really use, I do false lashes and she doesn't have brow products. So some stuff I will leave off camera, but we are gonna test out some stuff today, or not test out, I've used it on my channel before, but I had a request from Hannah to do a full face of Pat McGrath, and that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna get into ingredients, price points, and all of that because I've done that in previous videos. I do have the blush, but I cannot wear this blush because it has capric in it, capric acrylic, coconut alkalines, which makes me break out. So I had this from a previous video and I will put the card right there. You can check out my full review on this blush. Really gorgeous pink, like a mauvey pink color. So let's just jump into this so we don't talk too much. If you are new here, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button, click the post notification bell, join us. We're here every week and we just love for you to become part of our family. If you like videos like this, please give it a huge thumbs up and hit that like button. When you guys hit the like button and comment below, it really does help my videos out. All right, let's jump into this. So I have two shades right here. Most of mine were getting old. So this one is too light and this one's too dark. So I am gonna do one pump of each. This is light, medium 14. And then I also have light, medium, or just light 7. So I think I'm LM8. It's probably what I am, but I don't have that one. And I don't use this foundation too much. I need to remember if I even like it. So I did start off with my Dermatology #1 primer, and I did put that on. I'll show you the B-roll footage of that. I don't want to take too much time since I don't have my Pat McGrath primer anymore. It got old. That one's good. It's just not my favorite. Let's just put it that way. But it is good. It's more like a serum skincare based primer, and I did use it in a different video. So I'll put my Pat McGrath playlist right there if you want to check that out. So the light one is a little too runny now. I'm hoping this is going to match me. Do you guys see? It is a very skincare based foundation, which is why it's not normally my favorite, but it is a pretty finish. So this is one I really like doing with my hands. I just did a self tanner last night. I used the Saint Tropez one, the drops. I've had it for a while. I picked it up and I forgot I had it, so I was trying it out and I actually really like that self tanner, by the way. It doesn't have any, like really hardly any smell, and it was easy to apply. I just mixed it with my Nivea moisturizer and just put it on like I'd put regular lotion on, and no mess or anything like that. So I'll let you guys know how it wears. I'll keep you updated on that. Not that you're probably gonna pick it up now that the sale is over, but hope everyone had a good time shopping. I always have a good time shopping during the sale. This girl, I am a deal girl. Like, I love myself some sales. Hardly ever buy too much stuff full price unless it's something I really want. Really beautiful foundation though. It's very skin-like and it's easy to build. This doesn't really like get cakey or anything. That's what I like about this foundation. We'll have to keep playing with it. If I remember right, the ingredients weren't too bad. I'll put it on the side right there. Mine were too old. They were really old. So they get bad fast because of the skincare base in them. So that's one thing to keep in mind if it's not a foundation you're going to use every day. $68 is a whole lot of money. And the concealer as well, they have a very short shelf life. So just something to keep in mind. I'm gonna go in with my BK Beauty. Let's go in with this clean one. I just cleaned it. And we're just gonna press that in. This color actually matches since I self-tanned last night, so there we go. That L7 was a perfect one to mix in with it. It's so pretty though. The foundation is really, really beautiful. This is one where I would use with a powder, just because a powdered foundation to give me that little extra coverage. So yeah, by itself it's a little too dark, but with the 7 it matches. Even with my self tan, 14 is too dark. I'll let you guys see what it looks like up close. Again, a really beautiful serum-like finish. It really is like a second skin finish, but this is one if you have any discolorization or things you want to cover up, or you're more of a full coverage kind of girl, this is not going to be your foundation. But if you don't and you have really healthy skin and you just want something to give yourself a little extra and you like more skincare type foundations, you really will love this foundation. It is truly beautiful. I'm just going to take my sponge. And I think, Hannah, did you ask me one time if I wet my sponge? I think she was talking about the Danessa Myricks Yummy Balm. She was asking me if I wet my sponge or if I use it dry. I wet it, but I don't go in until it's almost dry. Like it's still damp, but it's not like crazy wet, because that will pull away too much product, or sometimes it can leave your foundation a little splotchy. So that's why I love the dry down of this Dose of Colors one, which is why I use it. All right, let's go in with the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. And this is shade Light 3, and this was the best undertone and shade for me. Just keep in mind, if you're buying the Pat McGrath concealer for the first time, they run really dark, especially when they oxidize. So I had LM8 and I used that in the original video that I did on testing out this concealer. I'll show you the card right there. You can check it out. I went into more depth with it. I had LM8, which matched me, and I liked it, but I like my under eyes brighter, so I like things a little bit lighter. That's just my personal taste, but it really just depends. If you're a twinsy to me, I can do LM8, I can do L7, I can do L3. I haven't tried 4, so I really like this 3 though. It's really pretty. The only thing is with this concealer, I didn't know at the time because I wasn't really aware of caprylic triglyceride, but that's in here. So there's coconut alkalines. I cannot use this on the rest of my face or I will break out. So I can do this under the eye, but it's just still not my favorite thing, because I would rather have a concealer, because sometimes I broke out with the Valentino one right here, because sometimes I take my concealer up there, which I won't do today, only because I cannot use that. But I love this concealer. It is really a beautiful formula. That's pretty much all you really need. I'm gonna take a sponge and do it with a sponge. So taking that Dose of Colors sponge, it dries down pretty fast, so work quickly. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my lid just to prep it for the eyeshadow. And we are using the new Pat McGrath Bronze Venusian Sunrise palette in this video. I'm going quick so my video is not too long. I notice when I look at my watch hours, literally I think the average watch hour is like 5 minutes. So majority of people are not watching this video in full. So I'm not gonna make them too long, because I think sometimes it distracts people from wanting to click on the video if they see that it's too long. Look at how beautiful that concealer is. If you are not allergic to coconut alkalines, this is a gorgeous concealer for mature skin. Like gorgeous. I forgot how beautiful it was. It's been a while. I really like this 3. It is so pretty. That 3 is such a that's the perfect undertone that I like for under my eye. And yeah, it's gonna look a lot lighter than the rest of my skin, but once I blend everything together, it'll be fine. Is really beautiful. I'll pull you guys in close. Don't mind the line there. We're gonna correct that in a second. Just look at the concealer. That is literally one of the most beautiful concealers on the market. Just too bad there's coconut oil for someone like me. All right, so we are gonna do my under eyes with with my one size. I know I'm cheating a little, but I can't really do anything besides this. It's just my favorite. And then I'll show you how I use the Sublime powder. Okay. Sublime powder in I say translucent because it pretty much is, but this is in light. Just a nice translucent shade once you put it on your skin. Really pretty. All I do with this is I just take my Chikuhodo Z highlight Z2. I just do a little bit, I dust it off like that, and then I just kind of pat that in, and it just kind of brightens that under eye area. That's how I utilize that powder. And then obviously you guys know I like to I'm gonna contour with the deep today. All right, so let's use this. I haven't used this powder in so long. Ooh, it's quite yellow, the light medium. I think I would have been better in light. This is why I can't use this one underneath my eye, this particular shade especially. I am going to take my Makeup Forever Puff, and I'm gonna take a little bit of that powder. We'll see how much coverage we get from this, because it does have a tint to it. Again, this is the light medium, and we're just gonna press that in. Oh, that's so pretty. I forgot how pretty this powder is. I think if I would have bought it again, I would have gone with the light version, but I think I told you guys this before, I did a masterclass with Pat McGrath a few years back, and they used the dark version of this loose powder too, and I think it was this one and the Sublime one they used, the under eye powder as bronzer and contouring, so it's kind of cool that you can do that. It looks good, you guys. It looks good. So this is her. She doesn't have a pressed powder, she only has a loose powder. Hopefully Mama Pat, she watches my videos, so hopefully Mama Pat will come out with a pressed powder without coconut alkaline. So please, please, please. No caprylic triglyceride. That makes me break out. Please don't put that ingredient in any more stuff. All right, so beautiful powder. We set down our face. I'm gonna show you how I contour with the deep, because I know I've talked about this before. And I'm gonna do this one first, just to show you guys, but I'm gonna do my Kevin Aquan on my nose just because that's more of a shade I would use. So let's take my Rephr number 4, and I've used it with this powder before. And then I just go like this. See? It just gives a nice, like, say you're like, I don't really like a contour, Kristi. I just want something like a little bit of definition. This is a good way. This is a really good powder to do. I like it because it's pressed, but it kind of gives you that feel of a loose powder. Really pretty. Just go around the perimeters. And a good way to, like, say your foundation was too light, this is a good way to kind of give you a little bit of color back too. You can do this around the jawline, like that, bring it down. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Bronze Dawn just to cut in a little bit more, just because this one has a little bit more neutral undertones until I can get Nude Honey, which I really still want, but I just couldn't with picking up all the Sephora stuff. I just don't have the funds right now to do that. So we'll do it with this instead. And that's just gonna give me a little definition right there. Just chiseling out that little area right there, just to give myself a little bit more definition. I'm gonna go back into light, and we're gonna give myself a facelift. And that is how it looks. All right, you guys, so I did my brows off camera because Pat doesn't have any brow products, and I just did my Valentino pen. You guys know this is just my ultimate brow pencil pen. It's the only brow product I use besides my Anastasia light blonde brow setter. So I'm just going in and just kind of taking that loose powder, this Pat McGrath light medium loose powder, just kind of going around and softening out any contour lines. And then I'm just gonna lightly set down my eyeshadow base, and Pat doesn't have an eyeshadow base. You can use concealer, but I don't always recommend that if you have oily lids, especially since it is packed with skincare stuff. I would just be careful with that. The only eyeshadow base I use now is my Gerard Cosmetics in Fair. It's just my ultimate eyeshadow base. I think for mature skin, this is a must have. It is so good. All right, so let's go in with this brand new Pat McGrath palette, if I can find it on my messy desk. So I just talked about this in my Sephora haul. You can check out my full Sephora haul part 1. There'll be a part 2. As I'm filming right now, I'm still waiting for my other shipments, and I did pick up some stuff in store. So this gorgeous palette we are gonna dip into today, and this is called Venusian Sunrise. This was released with her bronzers as a brand new little like summer collection of bronze, her bronze divinity collection, I should say. So let's start off with that second shade right there, and I'll put the name if there is a name. Actually, there is a name. Sunset Taupe is I think what it's called. So we're gonna use that as the transition shade. It's kind of like a warm, neutral, almost leaning a little cool undertone, but I'll have to see what it looks like on my eye. We're gonna take it onto my Sigma E28, and that is what it looks like. This brush is clean. Really beautiful color. And we're just gonna press that into the crease area, and then we're going to blend it out with a fluffier brush. But I'm just gonna press that because I know how pigmented Mama Pat's shadows are. And I'm just pressing that in right now. And then we'll go in with a fluffy brush, like I said. Beautiful color. Ooh, that's really pretty. So pigmented. I still hope she comes out with something more. These have a lot of pink undertones to them. I hope she comes out with something more, let's just say more golden brown. I would love to see that. Let me know in the comment section because she does a lot of rose undertones in her stuff. Everything is pretty much all kind of more pinky undertones with even her browns. Which is why I don't use them too often, just because I'm more into browns with golden undertones. Just my taste though. It's pretty though. It's not that it's not pretty. I'm not putting it on the V because we're just using this as a transition. And then what I'm gonna do, since there's really no transition color, I'm just gonna take this What's Up Beauty R104, just a fluffy brush, nothing on it, and I'm just gonna start blending that out. And because I put that setting powder on, do you see how that just kind of glided? So pretty, very pigmented. Little goes a long way. Just keep blending. I think I need my Sigma E61 for this bad boy. All right, Sigma E61, let's see if we can get a bigger blend. Oh yeah, this one just blends. I don't think there's any brush on the market that blends like this. And this is the synthetic hair. Typically you get that with like Japanese hair, but not synthetic. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take Deep, because you guys know I always do this, from Pat McGrath, the Sublime Under Eye Powder in Deep. If you're new here, I love using this to transition out shades and blur, almost like a blurring shade. Melt Cosmetics used to have a shade called Blur, and there's old stackables. That was like my go-to shade to do this with. But I haven't really seen too many shades like that in the market. So that's why I like to use just, and this is like a setting powder, so there's not a whole lot of pigment, as I mentioned earlier, so you don't cover up anything. And sometimes you can do this with a translucent powder, but sometimes it can change and alter the color, whereas, and sometimes make it a little too ashy, whereas this won't do that. That's why I like doing it that way. And see how that just kind of softened it out and gave me a nice transition. I'm gonna go in, just to warm it up a little bit more, I'm gonna go in with my bronzer. I'm actually gonna use, yeah, we'll just use this one, Bronze Nirvana. And I'm gonna take this Sigma E45 Max, and we're gonna go into Bronze Divinity, my bronzer, just because it has a little bit more of what I'm talking about, kind of more that golden brown, and I'm just gonna go above that, yeah. I actually would have used this as a transition and kept that other one a little bit tighter, but that's okay. In retrospect, this is a first impression using this palette, so I haven't played with it yet. So I'm just kind of testing these shades out with you guys on camera. This is because it's one of her newer palettes. So pretty though. Wow, that formulation is insane. All right, let's go in with the darker shade. It's like a really deep mahogany shade. That one is called Velvet Eclipse. Really pretty, like, again, like a pinker undertone, like a purplish undertone, I should say. Not pink, purple. Get your colors right, Kristi. All right, I am gonna take that onto, let's do my Sonia G first. I just wanna see what I get out of this. So I'm gonna go into there. Because it's so pigmented, I can use a little bit fluffier of a brush. Oh, look at that pigmentation. Yeah, it's definitely more on the purple side. Ooh, wow. That is a very rich, creamy tone. Holy guacamole, that's some really good pigment. Really good pigment. This is gonna be an easy look because there's only 4 shades in here, so quick and easy. Oh, that is a beautiful shade. Holy cow, that just blended itself. Wow, that formulation is insanely good. Oh my gosh. That's one of Pat's best mattes. Wow. If that was a golden brown, that would probably be my go-to color every day. Like that was insane how good that was. So to blend that out, I'm actually gonna go back into the Divinity bronzer. If I can open my packaging. Come on, Christy, get it together. Get your life together. All right, I'm gonna go back into that Sigma E45 Max, going back into Bronze Divinity. And to warm that up, that's why I'm doing that. Just to give it a little bit more brown undertone. Same thing. And if you have statuesque at home, I couldn't find mine. It's somewhere around this house. I'm gonna have to order a new one. That is one of my favorite singles that Pat McGrath offers still. Love that shade. And you can use that as a contour as well. I was gonna use that as my nose contour today because it is actually a pretty color for nose contour. I couldn't find it. I have to order a new one. I'm so bummed. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit more of this first shade we used. And I always put the names right there for you guys because I can't always remember as I'm trying to concentrate. Just going above that purple. It always looks kind of sloppy, and just keep that in mind. Try to think of the overall look. Don't look at it right now because we always make it look better once we clean up. And once the lashes go on, it always brings a look together. Wow, I didn't have to do much to that darker tone. That was one of her best matte formulations ever. All right, I'm gonna go in with my Sonia G Crease 1, and we're gonna go back into the darker one just to place a little bit more pigment right there. Just a little bit, just in case I took away anything. I'm just gonna stamp that for now. And we'll take the Sonia G and blend it out. I'm a little shaky today, you guys. I don't know what's going on with me. A little shaky. So if you guys ever notice when I'm doing my up close product shots and it feels shaky because I can kind of see it when I'm editing, it's not, I just have, it's kind of hereditary. My dad had it, and then my dad ended up getting Parkinson's, which I hope I don't get it, but I've always had it since I was a little girl. So I try my best to keep it steady, but if in case you guys see that, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm gonna mix these two together. Talked about this on the last Pat McGrath eyeshadow tutorial, and I'm just gonna go above that now. And then we'll blend that out. But see how that kind of, when you mix those two, it kind of gives you a nice little blend, a little transition from the dark to the light, just like that. And then I'm gonna take the bronzer back onto that Sigma E45, and I'm just gonna go above that now and start kind of washing that out. Went up a little too high, but that's okay. We can clean that up. Ooh, ooh, I can't wait to get to the star of the show. I cannot wait to get to the star of the show. So today we're just gonna use the dark one as a liner. I'm gonna take it onto my favorite liner brush. This is the BK Beauty 208. And we're gonna use this on the bottom half, and we're gonna go into that dark shade in the palette. And we're just gonna use this to line out the under eye. I can't talk and do this. When I do shadows as liner, this is the only brush I will use. I'm gonna pull that up right here onto the corner just to kind of match the ends. Now I'm gonna go in with my rougher number 3, and I'm gonna go into that mauve, that first transition color. Going back into Pat McGrath Deep with my What's Up Beauty R103, and we're just going to soften out those edges. So pretty. All right, let's get to the star of the show. All right, let's do the inner corner first. We're gonna use that first shade, obviously. It's such a pretty shade. I'm gonna take this What's Up Beauty number 1 R111. Love this. Oh, this shade is so incredibly creamy. We're gonna take that onto the inner corners. And you can use this one and not do the gold. Like say you were taking this out of town. And you're like, I want a daytime look. You can use just those 2 shades right there and use this as your center lid. This one we're doing on the inner corner, and then do the gold at night. Just taking that onto the brow bone. Ooh, that is really a beautiful color. Wow. It's so creamy. All right, let's go in with this gold. All right, let's do it on my finger first. And to get a little bit more tack, I'm just going back in with my, whatever was left over on my Gerard brush. We're not doing like a cut crease, just whatever's left over on this brush. And this is the brush I love using with my Gerard Cosmetics. This is the Charlotte Tilbury brush. It's so good for this. And I like to blend out the other side with that. All right, let's go in with this gold. I mean, can we just talk about this? Sorry, I had the darker one right there. I mean, obsessed, obsessed, obsessed. So pretty, so pretty. All right, going back in. Oh my god, it's so pretty. We're gonna pop. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh, Mama Pat, you just literally take my breath away every single time I use her metallics. Literally take my breath away. Oh my gosh. Wow, the color's so pretty. Okay, I need to get in with a flatter brush. I am going to use the F70 concealer brush, but I love doing metallics with this brush. We're gonna just coat that onto my brush like that. And just clean this one. These dry really fast too. You can clean and use pretty quickly. Oh my gosh. I don't know if it gets prettier than that. I'm gonna try to stick to there, and I'm gonna put the lighter one inside. Oh, oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh my. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, going in with the lighter. This was worth every penny I spent on this palette. This formula is insanely good. And you can get this on Pat McGrath or Sephora, but for some reason it's a little bit cheaper on Sephora. I let you guys know that when I did the haul. Oh my, that looks so pretty. So mixing in the lighter on the inner portion of my lid, then you can bring it back down to the inner corner. And then don't worry, we'll just taking that What's Up Beauty brush and just kind of blending that out. This is the R113. Just taking R103 from What's Up Beauty and just kind of blending that out there, just to make sure it's nice and soft. Oh me, oh my. Okay, going back into this shade and that shade, just mixing those. I'm just gonna go back over here. Oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh my. That is so pretty. Okay, just taking one more of the gold and just popping it just in case we lost any of the gold. That is so beautiful. So beautiful. All right, taking E61 and we're just gonna go over the edges. I'm gonna take the lighter one just real quick and I'm just gonna stamp that like right here. Just right there, just a little bit over it. Oh, see how that just kind of highlights? All right, E61, blend out. I'm gonna pop on my lashes and I'll be right back. So that is how it looks once I put on my Amy June Eve 3D Silk lashes. As always, you can use my code Kristi15 and get 15% off of all Amy June lashes. I did end up going in with my contour. I have to do this off camera because I have to concentrate when I'm doing my lips, but I used Contour, which is my favorite Pat McGrath lip liner shade. I like that one, and I think it's called Done Undone is my other favorite. It is so beautiful. It's a really beautiful way to get a little bit darker of a color. Done Undone's a little bit more pinker undertone and really beautiful for more of a lighter shade. And then I went in with my favorite color, Christy, not that because it's my name or anything, and I used the Christy MatteTrance lipstick on top of that. Really gorgeous, like pink undertone, really beautiful for spring and summer, but you can still get away with it in the fall as well. Hopefully she still has that color. And then I went in with Gold Allure. I know, KristiAllure. Thanks, Miss Pat McGrath, Mama Pat, for naming two things after me. So we have the Gold Allure lip gloss, and I just topped off the look with that. Now let's just finish up with the bronzer. I'm actually gonna use it with, we'll just use it with this. We're gonna use my IT Cosmetics brush, and we're just going to stamp that in. Such a beautiful, beautiful formula. I've been using this on the last few videos, so I don't have to go too far into it, but you all know how I feel about this bronzer. It is just, I mean, seriously, well, it's just foolproof. I'm excited for some of you that were waiting. Hannah, let me know if you finally got your bronzer. And then I'm gonna take the Chikuhodo PS2 and we're just gonna kind of start going like this now. This is a Japanese hairbrush, so it kind of gives a little bit softer. And that's why I like to soften it out just a little bit. It doesn't need a whole lot of blending, but ooh, ooh. And then I'm gonna go in, ooh, it's gonna make me break out, but I'm gonna do it anyway, just for you guys. All right, we're gonna do the Pat McGrath blush just because it is a full face of Pat, so I really need to do it. This is a really pigmented blush, so I'm gonna go in with my MAC. This is just a 161. They don't have this brush anymore, but it's a dual fiber and it's clean. So very bright pink undertone. And we're just gonna stamp. Do you see how pigmented that color is? This is, again, Cherish. So pretty though. Such a beautiful color. Such a beautiful color. And because this is a dual fiber brush, it's not giving me too much pigment. I don't smell this scent anymore. This was highly fragranted when I first used it. Going back into Bronze Divinity. Just gonna kind of go over that. I like to do that just because I feel like it ties in everything. Gonna make sure that we sculpt out the face. Make sure we get that back. Just gonna take my Chikuhodo brush and just kind of go over. This is a really pretty setting powder by Pat McGrath. I forgot how good it was. Wow, it's really nice. All right, since I don't have any of her recent highlighters, I'm gonna go into this little trio, which was my all-time favorite highlighter, and then they don't have it anymore. So thankfully the Rare Beauty one is very similar to this, but gosh, this highlighter is insane. I have to pick up one of her newer highlighters, but I haven't done that yet. So maybe when I get the funds, we can go in and get that bronze, the Nude Honey, and pick up a new highlight. Oh, it's so beautiful though. This is that same texture as the Rare Beauty one. I just kind of mix both of those together. It is just one of the most beautiful formulations. Mama Pat, if you watch this, when you watch this, you got to bring this back. This is so good. And I hope she brings them in individuals too. I think that would be really pretty. This formula is really hard to beat. This is even better than the Rare Beauty formula, but Rare Beauty is the closest to this, I would say. Oh, look at that. Let's take this Smashbox brush. We're gonna go back into Cherish, if I can find. They're all the same compacts, so I'm like, which one is which? Going back into Cherish, Smashbox brush, and just bring a little bit more color back into there. So pretty. Oh my goodness, you guys, I love it. All right, you guys, that's it. That is a full face of Pat McGrath. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see more full face of other brands. They're kind of fun to do. So I know some products I had to kind of, like my one size powder, there's just really nothing like that Pat McGrath has, and she doesn't have an eyebrow product. So other than that, full face of Pat McGrath. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, I'm Kristi. Why did I say I'm Kristi? If you're new here, please remember to hit that subscribe button and click that post notification bell. Join us. We're here every week, and we just love for you to join our beautiful Glam Fam community. If you like videos like this, make sure you check out last week's video, and please give this video a huge thumbs up when you guys hit the like button and comment below. As always, it really does help push my videos up through the algorithm, and I greatly appreciate it. You can follow me on all of my socials at KristiAllure. Check out my merch, Glamorous Life Collections, a lot of cool, fun stuff. It's a new merch store, so excited. Let me know in the comment section if you guys picked up anything yet, and I will see you guys on the next video. Love you guys, bye. Hey Glam Fam, change of plans. I decided to end this video showing you guys what it looks like outside, just in case any of you want to see the foundation and the concealer and the eyeshadow. I've had this on for about 4 hours now, holding up really beautifully. As always, I already took off my lipstick because I ate, but really gorgeous. All right, you guys, I will see you on the next video.
Never up, never down, never. Like a theme in a song, clever. Feeling high, feeling low at the same time. Feels so right, then I'm wrong, hoping I'll be fine. But I get up, I always do.